Hey friends, it's Jackeline here. It's time for a roundup of the new luxury makeup releases that I have tried during the month of March. Hermes, Chanel, Guerlain, Givenchy, BYREDO, Natasha Denona, Peau, SUQQU. So many luxury brands that have launched new makeup during the month of March that I was able to actually try, and I'm here again to give you a roundup. Although I have already uploaded my March beauty favorites, I also have uploaded a get ready with me using my March beauty favorites. Sorry, the redundancy right there. March. But as I mentioned it at the beginning of the year, I'm going to try my best this year to bring you a roundup of all the products that I have tried during that month and give you a feedback after trying it over and over again. And honestly, I think you need at least a month or more than a month to really give that roundup. So that's why it may seem late, the upload, but here you have it. And quickly go to the Natasha Denona Pastel palette. I say quickly because I have raved a lot about this palette right here. If you're a person that you're more comfortable going with just nude shades, brown shades, you know, like very like neutral kind of colors, but you want to start, you know, jumping in a little into color, this is it. It's a pastel palette that performs incredibly well. Opacity. I think that's the most important thing about pastel eyeshadows is the opacity. It's not much of intensity, because if you want to achieve per se intensity with pastels, then you need to use a different hue of such shade. And these, although it's arranged in a way that perhaps is like, wow, this is a splash of watercolor right here, if you see it, you do have those different hues. Like for example, these greens, you have this minty green right here, then you have a shimmer shade right here, another shade right here. Same thing with the purple tones. So you can play with the hues and yet still being on that pastel look that looks just so beautiful. In fact, for my get ready with me using my March beauty favorites, I went ahead and used this gorgeous shade right here, which is the Pantone color of the year. Very Peri or periwinkle, is just so lovely. As you see it on the pan is how it will translate on the eyes. It's just incredible opacity. They don't look chalky. They do not, you know, some pastel formulations, sometimes you apply it and it's like, oh wow, I'm achieving the look that I want, and then all of a sudden as you start blending it, they like fade away and then they are like not anymore there. Not with this formula. Best thing of all is presented on the midi kind of palette, which is not only less pricey than the other Natasha Denona Big Pan palettes, but also I feel like if you are just again stepping your toes into, you know, these kind of colors, then I think this is a really good way to go about it. And it's the eyeshadow palette that I'm using today. Basically, I apply these all over my eyelid, and then I went ahead and top it with this shade right here, and then on my inner corners I have limoncello. So yeah, very pretty, easy to use. I use something else on my eyeshadow look, I will mention it in a minute, and it actually matches so well with my nails today. You know, my friends, I do have a lot of fun painting my nails, and I decided to do kind of like you know, pastel Eastery kind of French tip kind of nails today. I just have so much fun. But I think Natasha Denona did an incredible job with this pastel palette. And again, if you're a person that you're diving into color but you don't want to go too bold, this is a great eyeshadow palette. Okay friends, let's move on to the next eyeshadow palette, which is from BYREDO, and this is the Flora Kalahari. I think it has come back in stock. I think it was Saks Fifth Avenue that has it actually on, because Saks Fifth Avenue, at least when I'm recording this video, is having a sale. If not, I'm pretty sure I found it at another website that the price is less than most of the other retailers. I will put all the details of all the products that I will be talking about today, along with the links, on the description box below. So if you want to find something, it's there. This is a gorgeous palette. Amazing. I know it doesn't look like when you see pictures, when you see even this video right here, you're like, oh, the colors, I don't know. I'm not sure. they are not alike to each other. It is the type of different formulations right here. These are super creamy. They are not cream, but they are super creamy. They do have a lot of emollients, making it super easy to use. Super easy to use. They do have a lot of pigmentation. Some of them are kind of like duochrome, not like super strong, but just they do have these little like sheaf of shades that they are just stunning. You have a variety of shades right here, from cranberry tones, then kind of like olive green, your neutral tones, some coral tones. You have these pop-up blue right here that we haven't seen a lot, this kind of like teal kind of blue, stunning. And then you have this black shade right here that is not only black, it does have like an eggplant undertone. It is stunning. I will highly suggest to use a pencil under it, or a matte black eyeshadow, or like a deep eyeshadow before you go into this one, because perhaps out of all of these ones right here, this is the one that has a little bit more of translucency, so it's not like, you know, I feel like you need a base to use it, but it's stunning. Amazing release from BYREDO. And then going to Hindash and his Monochromance face and eye palette. This is a pigment palette, and basically what I'm using today is Match Made. Right in the middle, I went ahead and deepen out just a little bit my outer V. Oh my gosh, this palette is just exquisite. Is exquisite. It's so easy to use. I really love this format, you know, this monochrome kind of layout that makes it really easy. Like, you don't have to use them all, and it's not only for the eyes, it's for the face. You want to contour, you go into these shades right here. You want blushes, you go into these shades right here. This is a blush. Oh, let me tell you, so gorgeous. With these purple shades, you will achieve an exquisite purple look. It's just an incredible formulation. It's like silk. It will not emphasize your texture. It will not crease. It's easy to build up the intensity. It's just so good. So good of a palette. I think in this formula, I feel like a lot of people get a little bit hesitant to get this palette or the Beautopsy palette because they find it a little bit intimidating. But believe me that when you get it and you play with it, you will understand it so much that it will be your go-to palette. In fact, I always mention it right here. Like, I always put away my palettes and stuff. This one is always sitting up here on my desk. This is the Beautopsy palette all the time, because it's just super easy to use. And it's so interesting, the formula, that even though they do have a gradient, there's no muddy mess right here at all and whatsoever. You don't lose that specific shade. You don't lose it. And it's just incredible. Super good formulation. I feel like Hindash should perhaps think for, I don't know, a next release to do perhaps quads on this type of formula, because I feel like a lot more people will start, like, you know, understanding the formulation. Because I don't miss out. This formula is something that it's unlike to other formulas in whatever is in the market. Honestly, it is. We're now with Rêve de Chanel, and this is the Imaginaire eyeshadow quad. This quad is so easy, and although it may seem simplistic to repetitive, it's so beautiful. It gives exactly what you need, something like that is for every day, easy, no fuss. You can use just even one eyeshadow and, you know, have a complete all one and done kind of look. Super easy, and I love the color story. I think it's super pretty, so lovely. These will not really make justice to this palette. Between the formulation, the payoff, the blendability, and all of that, this will just, I will highly suggest you to go ahead and look to my review on this collection right here, because then you will understand why this quad is so special. And I think perhaps it's not unique, but it is special, and it's something that it will not go to waste. It's so good. And then I think this is the last eyeshadow palette that I tried for the month of March. Is by FLORASIS. Oh my goodness. This is a gorgeous formulation. This is creamy. It's just so different. It's not cream, but it's creamy in the sense of like it, the shade that you see here in the pans, that's what you're going to get. And the blend is so beautiful. It's not thick, it's thin, it carries on the pigment, it's easy to blend. You feel like it's not chalky or dry, nothing. It's just FLORASIS. Honestly, it's a brand that I was like a little bit skeptical, you know? It's like I have seen it before many times and I'm like, oh, you know, I don't know. And then I tried it and I'm like, wait a minute. This is a great formula. And this shade right here is stunning. It's a duochrome shade. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. This makes your eyes look wet. So pretty. Mesmerizing. Beautiful. Love all the shades. This is a gorgeous shade too. Look at this bronzy tone. This for summertime, it's everything. Everything. And it doesn't have, you know, any shimmer, glitter. It's just pure, like, soft, like, beautiful. Beautiful formula. FLORASIS, honestly, amazing formulation. And that's the last eyeshadow palette that I tried for the month. But another eyeshadow product that I tried is Boys Tears by Hindash. It's like a liquid, I say like a liquid eyeshadow because it's a very versatile product that you can actually just tap it in a little and use it just kind of like a little bit of like a sparkle for your eyes. And that's exactly what I did today with my eyeshadow look. It's a very beautiful, very transformative kind of product for the eyes. I will not suggest it to use it for the face because it does have some shimmer particles, and at least on me, I just don't like it for that. I really like it actually for the eyes. And I will have to say though, you have to work one eye at a time because otherwise it sets and it's batch proof. It's actually waterproof, so you want to make sure you use, I will say, use your finger if you're comfortable with it. You can definitely use a brush. I will suggest a brush, perhaps like the one by Refer, the O2 brush. This is a good brush to use for this kind of formula if you want really high intensity or otherwise to pat it with your finger. Beautiful formulation. I really love that you don't find any flakes, you know, there's no fallout. It's an easy liquid eyeshadow to use, but like I said, one eye at a time, and it's gorgeous. It just gives, you know, it's very transformative. That's what it is. Okay, let's go now into base products. So let's start first with Hermes and their Natural Enhancing Complexion Balm. To me, this is definitely, balm was the best way to say it, but to me, it's more of like a tinted SPF, not really a moisturizer. I will highly suggest to have your face well prepped in the sense like you don't need like primer, you know, you don't need to do like a bunch of stuff, but just have your skincare under, and that way you can go with this. And wow, if it lasts all day long. You have to see my review and my wordness of these. I was just so impressed on how beautiful this product looked on my skin and how long lasting it was. It is so perfecting. It has just that perfect amount of radiance, and interesting enough, when you apply it on, I will highly suggest apply it just like any SPF with your fingers. If not, you can use a brush. I will highly suggest, oh, if I find it right here, where are you, baby? I don't know, where is it at? I usually use, oh, I washed it. So that's it right there. I washed it, but I usually use a SONIA G foundation brush. I will try to link it on the description box below. That way you can find know what I'm referring to spread it to if you don't want to use your fingers. But I will highly suggest go with your fingers. If you want to dab it a little bit with your sponge, that's okay. But it has more of like a dense consistency, so it's better to spread with your fingers. And I you know, for being an SPF, I don't want to say a little goes a long way, but in a way it does. In a way it does. So I will say do not over apply because it does have a good amount of coverage. I will not say it's a full coverage kind of product because again, it is not, but it just leaves your skin so beautiful. I truly, truly love it. It does have a small scent, a very light scent, but it dissipates right away. It's nothing that it's overwhelming. It's not like a spray in a bottle of perfume. No, nothing like that. It's just like a very light, soft, floral scent, but it dissipates right away. Such a good product. And then the foundation that I'm wearing today is by Clé de Peau, and is the Radiant Cream Foundation. Honestly, I don't know why. Sometimes seeing foundations on this kind of packaging kind of like makes me feel as I'm getting a tinted moisturizer, but I realize that I'm not. That I'm not. And this one right here, to me, is not a radiant foundation. To me, it's more of like a natural foundation. It's very natural in finish. It's very pretty actually. It does have SPF of 25. It is very perfecting. Like if you're planning to go to, I don't know, like wedding, an event, summertime, I think this foundation will look incredible if you live in a humid climate too. I do have a dry skin, mostly on the perimeters of my face, and more combo skin right here, right in the middle. And oh my goodness, it looks incredible. It looks so perfecting. But this one to me is, I do have a ton of freckles. So I think someone that have little freckles or just not much of, you know, any little beauty marks on the face, you will feel like this is full coverage. So on this one, definitely a little goes a long way. And I really love the application of a beauty sponge. And shout out right here to this beauty sponge by ShopMissA. It's oh so good. I love it. And I actually used it today to apply this friend right here. It's very pretty, super pretty, and it works beautifully, just so perfecting. That's what it is. Okay, and then another foundation that I have tried is the new one by SUQQU. This one is the liquid foundation. It's not a super long lasting foundation. It has more of like a natural finish, light to medium coverage, and it will last you around 5 hours, 6 hour mark. Then it starts not to fade away in, you know, patches or different way, but you can see that it's wearing off. I honestly like better the SUQQU, the cream foundation. To me, that one is a little bit more, I don't know, it just gives me a little bit more of this something more perfecting. But this is a foundation if you want something very easygoing, not too much fuss. I will say use a little amount, but definitely out of all the foundations from SUQQU, I honestly prefer a lot more the one that comes in the jar. Okay, my friends, and now going into concealer. I think the only concealer that I tried last month was this Dior Backstage Flash Perfector Concealer. I got it in a shade Too Light. So I use it mostly as a brightening kind of concealer after I go with, if you have seen me without makeup, I do have very dark under eye circles, so I have to go first with a color corrector, then a concealer, and this one I use it as a brightening concealer. It's a good concealer. It's not the concealer for me like, oh, this is it for me, but I feel like if you don't have a lot to cover under your eyes and you want something that is extremely lightweight, or you're going with a very makeup no makeup kind of look, you can use this concealer. It reminds me quite a bit to the Power Fabric Concealer by Armani. Very alike in consistency and also on the coverage, very alike, and also on the wear as well. So it's a beautiful concealer, but it will have to be for a certain kind of person. You know, if you don't have a lot to cover, then go for that. Okay, and now let's go for setting powder. So I tried the new Givenchy Prince Libre pressed powder, and I mean, this is new in the sense that, you know, it's just the press formula of what we already know, the loose formula. as good, as awesome, traceless. It does have more of like a satin finish. It doesn't really mattify your face, which I find it more appealing to me because it just gives me this natural, beautiful look without looking that I have a lot of powder, you know, on my face. That's definitely the least that I want because I do have dry skin. I'm over my fourth floor. Yes, I'm over 40 years. And I just don't like to use powders in general or as much powders. And then talking about powder, a powder that I don't like to use the word obsessed, but I love it, is the new one by Hermes. This is from the Plein Complexion collection in Noir. White, I'm using it, it's not white. It's a translucent powder that is just so beautiful. Yes, it will kind of mattify just a dash the areas that it needs to, but without looking, you know, like cardboard like. It doesn't make sense. It's just so pretty. It leaves more than anything your skin looking like a skin. It's soft and silky, so silky, so finely milled. Yeah, I know you see it white right there, but you see like that. So a few passes of a brush and then you have it all blended and it feels like silk. It's just so good. This formula is amazing. And another powder that I tried is by FLORASIS. I mean, the embossing is just stunning. It's so hard to really, you know, use it too much because I don't want to ruin the embossing, but I really love it. I love to use it with a little sponge because it just really applies so well the powder. And you see how it brightens up the under eye area without making it look, you know, like too much, too dry. It's just very pretty, very perfecting. The formula, again, these formulations are just so pretty because they are soft, very soft on the skin, silky light. So they are not those formulations that they look like you have applied a lot of powder, you know, that it looks cakey. Nothing of that. Now let's go for blush. SUQQU came out with the melting powder blushes, and I have this one in the shade 04, is the one that I'm using today. Oh, so gorgeous. Melting blushes. Honestly, you touch it and they feel like cream. You know, it reminds me quite a bit to the Valentino blushes, which is perhaps one of the only products that I like from Valentino Beauty. Oh, so beautiful, so creamy. It melts on the skin. It doesn't leave a trace where it starts, where it ends. It has a natural finish. So pretty. Just simply so pretty. And they come in so many different shades. So many different shades. There's a pink one that I had been eyeing and then a corally one too. But if you want something like everyday, you know, like a neutral tone, all four. This shade right here, it's all what you need. All what you need. Okay, and then let's go now into highlighters. Also from Hermes, they launched with the Plein collection the second highlighter, Mirage 02. And it's a different formula than the first formulation. And the reason why I didn't put it on my March beauty favorites is because, to be honest with you, I preferred the first one. But I have to say that this formula is the one that I'm using today. Well, I'm using two today. It blends in the skin very, very well. It does have this beautiful golden undertone that I think it's going to be just amazing during summertime with the tan. It's going to be so beautiful. It's again super soft, silky, non-powdery, and it does have a beautiful, I mean, like you can see it, it's here, it's definitely here, and it's just very, very pretty, but it's not as ethereal as the first one. And I think that's why, to me, the first one is the one who wins my heart. But in formula, this is gorgeous, gorgeous, and I know I'm going to be using it quite a bit during summertime. Now going to the next highlighter that I tried during the month of March is by Chanel Rêve de Camélia. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. Now this is a very subdued kind of highlighter. I would say it's more of like a luminizer. It's not really, yeah, In fact, it says back here, illuminating powder. It's not really a highlighter. And basically what I like to do with this highlighter, I like to use the brush that it comes with and just bath in the high points of my cheeks. And it just gives, yeah, that ethereal kind of light to the skin without being this, you know, like beaming highlighter. Is more soft, more subdued, very elegant, classy. I mean, and also this gorgeous embossing wins my heart. I already have a second one that I'm not going to touch, but yeah, this is such a pretty formulation, non-powdery, and because of the payoff, it doesn't bring up the texture. So lovely. For bronzer, the only bronzer that I tried this month is by Guerlain, and it's their new Terracotta Light. They come in so many different shades. I have the shade 3. It is the bronzer obviously that I'm using today. I love the shade. It's a little bit of a warmer tone kind of shade. Nice, it blends like a dream, super easy, and that's something that Guerlain bronzers are known for. It's like they are just so beautiful to apply and so beautiful to blend. And then I also got the Guerlain brush. And I will have to say, after using it, because the first time that I used it, it felt soft, but it felt like that, you know, the bristles were a little bit blunt too. So I felt, oh, will this be, you know, a little too harsh? After using it a few times, it's just so soft. It carries product so well, and it's just so easy to blend. I really love these type of brushes to apply bronzer to. It just gave a very beautiful look, and it picks up the right amount of product, honestly. And then another mascara that I have it already inside the box is the one from BYREDO. If you saw me trying it, total fail. Love the packaging. I feel like it's like, oh, so cool. I love this green right here. This green is on trend, you know, for summertime, but it feels so dry. So dry. It doesn't give me enough volume, enough separation. It doesn't give me enough of anything. So definitely I'm just returning it because there's no point for me to have it. The YSL mascara, where did I put it? Oh my gosh, I don't know where did I put it. I'm gonna put a picture right here then. It is a good mascara. You just give a little bit of, you know, separation, not too much volume, mostly separation. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, it's not a mascara that I will say like, wow, it's a very, you know, yeah, it's a mascara that you can find anywhere. So to me, it's nothing like, oh wow, I need to have that mascara. The mascara that I need to have though is the ESUM mascara. This mascara is the mascara that I'm using today. It give me volume, it give me separation. It really defined the lashes beautifully. Great mascara. This is an excellent mascara by ESUM. I'm so impressed about this mascara. It's just, it's not gonna give you, you know, like if you have falsies, but it's gonna give you beautiful lashes that has volume, and it's just so pretty. Such a pretty mascara, and it doesn't flake, it doesn't transfer, it doesn't budge. It's absolutely incredible. Love this ESUM mascara. And now going into lips, starting first with a lip balm by FLORASIS. It's a very beautiful lip balm. It's thicker in consistency. I will have to say it's more like, you know, you can use it in the morning before you apply your makeup, but I will say I will use it more at nighttime because it's just so thick. So it's really occlusive, and it will really keep your lips nice, moisturized, you know, being cared for. Very beautiful lip balm, but definitely something that you can use it morning or night, but I think night is when you're gonna see your lips like, oh wow, my lips, they look very nice, hydrated. Really good lip balm by FLORASIS. And talking about FLORASIS, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard for me to use this gorgeous lipstick because it's just so pretty. It's just so pretty. I feel bad to use it, but I need to use it more often. I have used it at least 2 more times. Love the pigmentation. Yes, you have to reapply it. It's a very beautiful formula. It's kind of like not satin, not matte. It kind of gives you that kind of like powder like kind of lips that they are slightly blotted. The shade is to die for. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Love the packaging too. It's so, you know, extra and you know, it's just different, but it's very pretty too. Lovely, lovely product from FLORASIS. And then going for the lipstick that I'm using today is by Chanel, and it's a Rouge Allure L'Estret in the shade, oh, where did I put it? Is it one of these ones right here? I have many, many. I really, really love the formula. Oh, is this one right here? Is the shade, let me tell you, does it say the shade? Oh my gosh, I think you have to look right here. Okay, this is Beige Brute, and I love this shade. It's a beigey tone with a little bit of peach in it. It carries a lot of pigment and a lot of hydration. I really love this new packaging. I love that it's refillable. I don't love that they are raising the price from Chanel in general, but I have to face it, and we all have to face it. They're going to still raise the price. No matter what we say, prices are going up everywhere. And, you know, beauty, unfortunately, is one of them too. But it's a great, great product. I really love this kind of formula. It's more of like a satin lipstick, but it does have, you know, this feeling of nourishing that is beautiful. And then from the Rêve de Chanel collection, I picked up a Rouge Allure ink in the shade Posé. This is gonna be a shade that I will be using all summertime, and right now it's springtime too. It's a gorgeous kind of like corally tone that doesn't look too vibrant. It's not your peachy nude. It does have, you know, it gives life to your face. It's just so pretty, and I really love this formula because it is more of like long-lasting satin kind of lipstick. So it stays like that. It stays satin, but it's like an ink. It stays on your lips for a long time, and it's non-drying too. This one, yeah, this formula is so good. And then Hindash also brought his first two lipstick products. One, it is a matte lip balm in resin roses. It's very interesting because to me, a balm has to have a little bit of that shine, and this one really doesn't. It's more of like it does have a little bit of a sheen in it, but it looks a little bit matte on the lips. The beautiful thing about it is like you can go lightly and build it up, or change a lipstick that you have with just a little bit of this color right here to another kind of tone, you know, mix it in. So that's what is beautiful about. And you know, I wasn't like surprised that he brought this specific shade, because I remember when he did his collaboration with MAC, the lipstick was not the same formula, because it was another formula, but the shade was alike, because he likes to mix in, you know, like this other shade that I have right here. This is the Call Me Peaches Manifesto lipstick. Now this is a matte formula, like a true matte formulation. Very pigmented. The shade is gorgeous, but I will have to say, if you're planning to use this lipstick, make sure you have your lips very well moisturized, very well exfoliated, so that way it goes even on your lips. Not even because it doesn't, you know, like have the pigment to actually go even, but so you don't have all those bumps. You know what I mean? It doesn't gather on the fine lines, which is amazing. And the way that I like to use it, because I'm more into like the satin formulation, is kind of like to tap it, and then kind of like fade it away with a lip liner. I'm talking about lip liner. Actually, Hindash came out with a lip liner in the shade Hush, and it's the one that I'm using today. This is like a perfect nudie tone. It does have a slight warmth to it, which makes it very easy to work with many different shades. And I love the formulation. Very easy to apply, easy to fade and blend to. If you want to apply it all over the lips and just use lip gloss on top, that's great. And I forgot, sorry, when we were talking about the eyes right here, this is Hindash Eye Tone Pencil in the shade Intra. Very nice. I will have to say though, it does have a little bit of a tag. It's not difficult to apply, and I have, you know, hooded eyelids. I do have a bumpy road right here, and you know, it glide, but it didn't glide like woof, like, you know, like say satin kajal from Victoria Beckham. No, you know, like you just have to go slow, but it does have, you know, a beautiful tone, gorgeous tone. You can smudge it just a little if you work one eye at a time as well. I will say it's not long lasting for the waterline. So if you're planning for the waterline, this will really not work. But other than that, love the shade. And then also from FLORASIS, I tried their liquid lipsticks. Now these are a matte formulation, but again, kind of like the bullet lipstick. It does have this kind of like soft matte, kind of like cloud kind of formulation that makes your lips look a little bit more like bouncy. Very pretty and so much pigment. And this shade right here, I'm not gonna put it on my hand, but this shade right here, ooh, wow, it's this beautiful terracotta rich shade that is just incredible. From FLORASIS, I also tried this blush slash highlighter. Very pretty. I honestly do not know if like it's something that I would have rather have just a blush by itself, but I think it's a good, you know, if you want to apply a little bit of the highlighter under it and then go with the blush on top and buff it, I think it just gives a very beautiful look. I love, again, this is the thing with FLORASIS. The formulation for all their, you know, eyeshadows, blush products is very soft. It's super soft, very silky, and that makes it very easy on application. Very easy on application, and it just makes it don't sit on top of the skin very beautifully. And then this oh wow highlighter from FLORASIS. Oh gosh, these right here again, another very soft formula, but this one has a lot of pigment. I will say go with a very like a blue squirrel hair kind of brush will work to pick up enough product, because this highlighter, it is boom, it people are gonna see you from afar. Honestly, I mean, this highlighter, it's gorgeous because again, it has so many emollients. The formulation from FLORASIS, from pretty much all their products, they do have a lot of emollients that makes it very easy to blend. But the payoff right here, if you like more of like a beaming highlighter, this is the type of highlighter for you. Alrighty, my friends, so we are done right here. This was my roundup of my March luxury makeup releases, the products that I have tried during the month of March. Let me know if you have tried any of these products and how you're liking them. Also, I would love to know from you if you perhaps have some of these products on your wish list. Let's just continue the conversation on the comment section down below. And while you're at it, and if you haven't done so yet, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, share with family and friends. And until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.